Think your dividend portfolio is ready for anything? Let me show you why one of the most reliable income generators I own isn't a stock or ETF. It's PIMCO's PTY fund. With a near 10% yield and a track record of crushing it in both bull and bear markets, PTY is the quiet powerhouse most DIY investors overlook. When was the last time you got in over your head on a project? Maybe you thought you were the next HGTV star, only to find yourself knee-deep in tools, half-finished cabinets, and a growing sense of regret. That's the DIY trap. You start with enthusiasm, but sometimes you don't have the skills, time, or patience to get it done right. And here's the thing. Investors fall into the exact same trap. We all love building that dream portfolio. A few blue-chip stocks here, an ETF or two there, maybe even some growth names you read about on Reddit. But here's what's missing. Exposure to the complex corners of the market where the real income lives. Credit markets, bonds, preferreds. The stuff that requires a pro's playbook. That's why I own PIMCO Corporate and Income Opportunity Fund, because sometimes it pays to hand the wheel to a captain who knows how to navigate the storm. Listen, when the markets get choppy, I want a steady hand at the helm, someone who's seen the ugly side of the cycle and knows where the bodies are buried. That's what PIMCO does best. They've been through everything. .com bust, GFC, COVID panic, you name it, and when the fear hits, they're not dumping assets in a frenzy. They're buying the good stuff everyone else is throwing out. PTY is the crown jewel of that strategy. It yields a hefty 9.9% today, and it's built to do one thing: keep paying you, no matter how ugly the headlines get. Let's rewind to 2008 for a second. Peak fear, peak chaos, banks collapsing, credit markets freezing, everyone convinced the sky was falling. If you had dumped every bond fund you owned back then, nobody would have blamed you. But PTY? It sailed through and outperformed stocks, junk bonds, and investment-grade bonds during that mess. Fast forward to now, rates are sky high, the economy is wobbling, and everyone's suddenly an expert on soft landings. You know what hasn't changed? PTY's ability to sniff out opportunities when everyone else is scared. Here's what PTY is holding today. High-yield corporate credit, non-agency mortgages, non-USD developed market debt, and a growing slice of CMBS, or commercial mortgage-backed securities. Yeah, I know, CMBS sounds scary right now. Office buildings are half empty, defaults are ticking up, and the headlines are all doom and gloom. But that's exactly when PIMCO leans in and starts buying. When the market is throwing out the baby with the bathwater, PTY is scooping up assets at steep discounts. This isn't a fund locked into one strategy. PTY goes wherever the deals are. And they've been doing it successfully for decades. Markets get messy, headlines get scary, people panic and sell. PTY doesn't flinch. It keeps delivering income, it keeps hunting for mispriced assets, and it keeps rewarding investors who stay on board. Look, the price will swing. This isn't some set-it-and-forget-it savings account. But if you're playing the long game and want steady big-time income, PTY is one of the best captains to have at the wheel. If you're serious about building a dividend machine, one that spits out income in bull markets and bear markets, you can't just DIY your way there with stocks and ETFs. You need exposure to credit markets. You need skilled managers who can zig when others zag. And PTY is the blueprint. So next time the market hits turbulence, ask yourself, is your portfolio flying blind? Or do you have an experienced pilot like PTY at the controls?